Hello and welcome to the Blancpain GT Series Asia, the first race of the inaugural season, all set to get started right here at Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia. There are 60 drivers on our grid, 30 incredible machines all ready to get started in a championship that's really got a lot of buzz around it. Now, this is the first race. There's 12 all up, 6 events over the course of, and did you just see that? Wow. All right. It's totally live, obviously. The most exciting part, of course, is being right here on the grid. David, I hope you're having a better time up there over in the commentary booth. David Addison, our commentator.
Thanks, Renee. It's not quite as frantic up here as it is on the grid as excitement builds and we get ready for what promises to be not only a fantastic race but a superb championship. The very first Blancpain GT Series Asia race, a new championship for this year, building on the success that SRO, the Sepang organisation, has had in international GT racing, predominantly in Europe, but it's the promoter here of the Sepang 12 Hours, and it was here back in December that the championship was officially launched. And to have 30 cars out for qualifying, we've had a couple, I'm afraid, with some damage and mechanical dramas that will reduce this to a 28-strong grid, but even that as an entry is absolutely fantastic. 8 different brands represented, lots of local heroes. Also, we've got a number of international GT stars, and across that lineup, Ferrari, Porsche, Aston Martin, McLaren, Lamborghini, BMW, Audi, Mercedes, all the best GT brands are here ready to do battle. Down on the grid, however, is the brainchild of international GT3 racing, Stefan Rattel, looking very proudly on what promises to be a superb grid for a great race, and Stefan is with Renee.
Thank you, David. I'm with Stefan Rattel, the organisers, SRO here. Look, exciting time to be here.
It's a first, you know, after so many years of Blancpain GT Series in Europe, to have the Blancpain GT Series Asia is an accomplishment. I'm very proud of my team. And very pleased that so many teams, drivers, manufacturers have believed in the potential of the series, and I believe we're at the beginning of something big.
So many teams out here today. I mean, the format's been very successful overseas. We can expect the same, I guess, here?
Yes, I mean, it's really close racing. It's a diversity of cars. It's high-level drivers. We have really professional and amateurs. We have everything for a great show, and we just need to make it known throughout Asia and grow our followers, but it will happen as it did in Europe.
Okay, thank you very much, Stefan. There you go, you heard it from the man himself, David.
So the grid being cleared at the 1-minute board, the engines will fire up, last engineers will leave the grid, and then we'll get these 2 formation laps underway. And as soon as the race director is happy, the green flag will be waved. It is now to release the cars. There to the left of the screen is Anand Adon, who releases the field now. And it is Mitch Gilbert then who will lead them away. 2 formation laps, remember. So the cars work their way down towards turn 1, long, fast, pit straight, and then hard on the brakes into a right-hand hairpin, and as soon as you've done that, you're going left and then right again downhill. This particular corner in the dark, in the wet, was the scene of some great overtaking manoeuvres in the Sepang 12 Hours at the back end of last year. And the field working its way through. The purpose of these laps, of course, to generate warmth into tyres and brakes, bring tyre pressures up as well, so they're ready for a safe start to the race. At the back of the grid, GT4, absolutely dominated by the Svelte Porsche Cayman GT4 Club Sport, which had become very much the car to have in international GT4 racing in the last couple of years or so. It's another turnkey racer. Porsche having done a great job of building a car, selling it to customers, and they're getting more and more common in all sorts of championships for GT4 around the world. The Marchi Lee entry there, the Audi in the middle of the shot, and the Audi Hong Kong car. 99, started by Darrell Young, the Canadian-born Hong Kong driver. There's a wealth of experience in that car as well. Darrell Young and Peter Lee, former FIA Formula 3 European Championship competitor. If you remember, he had a rather spectacular accident at the Red Bull Ring last year, but he's back to full health, raring to go. Right, now things start to bunch up, and we are going to be good to go this time. It will be, although that extra formation lap was counted within the hour, it will be a conventional rolling start, so they get themselves quite right too into the side-by-side formation, ready for a rolling start. It's then up to the pace car driver to dart to the pit lane. It's then up to Mitch Gilbert and Anthony Liu on the front row to control the pace. On his toes though, look, he's Marchi Lee in the Audi, getting ready to have a go as the cars work their way out of turn 14. Pace car will dive for the pit lane, And for the first time, the Blancpain GT Series Asia is set to go racing. The cars work their way up towards the lighting gantry at the timing line. The lights go to green. We're racing, and a good start is made by Gilbert from pole, but a good start too by Liu alongside him. And there's contact. The McLaren's in the wall already. Richard Wee has been turned around. He's in the concrete, and one of the BMWs has gone with him. It looks like it's the Junsan Chen car. That may well be a safety car straight away with debris on the track, but as they battle into turn one, it is Mitch Gilbert back into the lead on the inside. He's on the outside for turn two, and he's managed to hang on to the position. But big drama off the start line straight away as Gilbert leads. Liu is second, third is Darrell Young in the yellow Porsche, and the field accelerates now towards turn four for the first time. We will go safety car straight away. The safety car, not surprisingly, is going to be deployed. They can race until they see the boards, and up the inside goes Anthony Liu, but then he gets the message about the yellow flags and will lift. Darrell Young tucks up behind him. There are the yellows, there are the boards. You can't overtake while the safety car is deployed. There's a change for second there. Darrell Young realises that that wasn't on, so he lifts, he backs off, and the place is changed back again. Wow, big drama. Not even a corner, and we have an accident. There is the battered BMW, number 90, the Junsan Chen car. Junsan Chen in the wall, but he got caught up with Richard Wee in the McLaren, and that suffered a lot of damage to the point where you question whether it's going to be out for race two tomorrow. And there you can see what I mean about the damage. Look, there's barely any front left of that car, and that will deprive Rob Bell of a chance to go racing, certainly today. So now people weaving around, getting the tyres back up to temperature, keeping the warmth in the rubber. And it's going to be Mitch Gilbert versus Anthony Liu when we go racing, but don't rule out either Darrell Young there, who is tucked up in third place. We've got Marchie Lee fourth, and so the green flag is waved. The safety car procedure is under investigation as well. There could be more to this story than meets the eye, but as we go racing now, Mitch Gilbert does pull a gap as we go racing once more. He is second, Darrell Young is third. Fourth is Marchie Lee, fifth is Jules Gounon's Porsche, sixth is Sandy Stuvik in the Lamborghini. So great mix of cars heading down towards turn one. Very late on the brakes, Anthony Liu, the back steps out of line, he corrects it, but he's gone wide. Darrell Young in the Porsche gets up the inside line, Ferrari on the inside, and turn two, he's going to get the place back. Yes, good save that by Anthony Liu, but it looked as though at one point he was heading into no man's land. He has held on to second place, but they've all bunched up behind him. Darrell Young, Marchie Lee, Jules Gounon, Sandy Stuvik, then they're all in a line, and that has enabled Mitch Gilbert to just gap them ever so slightly as though Young pulls up on the inside line at turn four. Through he goes. Second place falls to the Porsche. Darrell Young, vastly experienced driver, both at home and internationally, and he is on a mission. Mitch Gilbert leads the way. It is Audi from Porsche from Ferrari, and Darrell Young now released from behind Anthony Liu's Ferrari. He's going after the race leader. Look at him go. The gap is certainly extending as now up towards the challenge comes Marchie Lee. He looks at the inside line and the Audi can't do it. Tucks back in behind. Jules Gounon's Porsche is next, and then in sixth spot Sandy Stuvik in the Lamborghini. Tim Sugden's Mercedes in the background is seventh, and with a flash of the lights, Gounon says, "I'm coming." Marchie Lee on the inside of Anthony Liu, who's going to block him as they get into turn 9. He does so, and now they sprint through turn 10. Speed building all the time now. This next corner sort of loops you back round, drop down again. 37, Anthony Liu uses the curve. So too behind him does Marchie Lee, eager for a way past the experienced Ferrari peddler ahead of him. But Anthony Liu, the Chinese driver, keeping at least for the moment Marchie Lee behind him. So the Hong Kong driver is on his tail as they come out of turn 13. Darrell Young looking to try to gain ground against the race leader. 43 minutes on the clock as they make the run up now towards turn 14. Here they come. Mitch Gilbert leading the way, and you can see the gap he's pulled, but Darrell Young is doing his best to go after him. Into the braking area for turn 14, and now up the inside goes Marchie Lee in the background, and Gounon's also defending. Lee on the inside for third. Jules Gounon defending fifth from Stuvik. It's going to be a real drag race in a straight line. Audi versus Ferrari. Now you'll see who has got extra grunts in a straight line as they come past the pits, bearing in mind that Marchie Lee's Audi carries an extra 25 kilos because of the driver classification. And even with that, he still does it in a straight line. Round the outside, late on the brakes. He goes wide and Liu's back up the inside. "Oh no, you don't," says Marchie Lee, sticks out his elbows. Liu gets forced up onto the curb, but Marchie Lee has done it, and that was great driving. Stood his ground all the way round the outside, braked as late as he dared, job done. So Liu, after his good qualifying, is falling back down the order now. Field working its way up through turn 4. two big cars, the Mercedes fending off the BMW, the Gruppe M car ahead of Fist Team AAI, and now they make the run up towards turn 4. Those are the gaps, that's the classification. Audi leading the way now by very nearly 4 seconds as Milroy pulls to the inside line. He's got the gap on the inside at turn 4 and he's got the job done. Good move, Ollie Milroy then goes through on the inside. Suddenly tries to fight back. Tim Sugden looks for a way round him again as they head to turn 5 on the outside line. But no, now Ollie Milroy stands his ground, hangs on to the position, and he works his way now round turn 6 comfortably now that he's managed to get himself into 7th spot. And there's more perhaps to do before the end in that BMW. Jesse Krohn will be a quick driver. 38 minutes to go, and Marchi Lee determined to find a way past Darrell Young. Porsche, Audi, Ferrari, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Great battle going on here. To the inside goes Marchi Lee. Is he going to work this time? He's up the curb almost. He's still got the inside line. Darrell Young gets elbowed out wide, but he'll have the inside for the next corner. Here comes Lee on the inside line of the Ferrari. Tries to swoop past Lee. Marchi Lee to the outside line in the Audi. He's going to run out of road, and he's going to lose a place. Lee around the outside. They touch. They lean on each other. Anthony Liu gets forced way wide, and here comes Gounon in the Porsche. He's gained 1 spot. Fantastic. Jules Gounon goes through, and Liu might have a punctured tyre because he's off the road. That puts Sandy Stuvik ahead of him. Is the Ferrari low? Let's see, because suddenly the car seems to not want to handle. And look, it's losing pace. Has it suffered some damage in that run? Let's have a look. 77, Jean-Marc Merlin is in to morph into Frank Yu in the Craft Bamboo Racing Porsche, a team that started off in the World Touring Car Championship. 13, the blue Audi, that is now Frankie Chang. That's the car that's being lapped. Now that lost time early on, but he's running in 17th place. The leader is him, and he comes in with a margin of 11 seconds. So 11 seconds was the gap that Gilbert had over the opposition. Let's see how it all pans out after the stops here. Darrell Young still coming under attack, though. Marchi Lee desperately wants the lead, and he's going to get it because deep into the corner goes Young, and that compromises the exit. The Audi tries to get up on the outside line now, coming around turn 11, but Darrell Young's got the inside line, and he hangs on to the lead. Fantastic. Whatever you throw at Darrell Young, he's able to repel. Marchi Lee has tried pretty much everything, but Darrell Young, riding the curve there, stands his ground. You can see how hard he's trying because he's making the occasional error, but even so, he's hanging on to 2nd place. And Darrell Young driving the wheels off that car, back into the race. 86 Audi then. Over the timing line has just gone. 88, which is now Joel Camathias at the wheel, and the lead gap is 18.9 seconds. 18.9 is the margin. Let's hear from Mitch Gilbert, though, with Renai.
Hi, David. Yes, Mitch, look, started on pole position. Are you happy how things went for you out there?
Yeah, I mean, that was it was a mega stint. It was quite tough with the safety car. I didn't get that much chance to pull away, but I pulled a really good gap. I think 13 seconds when I boxed, which is mega. I'm excited. I think this year now is a good chance to finish the job for us.
Thank you very much. There you go, David.
Up the inside comes Jesse Krohn. It's 39 Ferrari that's got a problem, and that car was 7th. And it's got some bodywork fouling against the tyre. It's not mechanical smoke, it's bodywork. Now, what's happened for 2nd place? Has it changed? It has, I think. Yes, Jesse Krohn is 2nd, and Marchiello in the Mercedes booms past the pits on the outside line. The Gruppe M car goes for 3rd spot here as they head down towards turn 1. Jesse Krohn up to 2nd place. Can Marchiello go round the outside? He's going to try. He needs to stay there to be on the inside line for turn 2, but he can't do it, I don't think, or can he? He's late on the brakes, he's over the curb, he's up the inside, and he's through. Raffaele Marchiello storms past, and Sean Tong, I don't think was expecting that, but Raffaele Marchiello hammered it up the inside line at turn 2, and he has gone by. So Aditya Patel leads now. Jesse Krohn is 2nd, and the gap is 24.5 seconds. Surely that is too much to build up. There in 77 is Frank Yu leading the GT4 category, but only just because he's been under attack. Ahead of him in 117 is the invitation class car, Sven Herberger at the wheel of it. There goes Frank Yu for Craft Bamboo Racing, and then behind him in number 10 is Eric Lowe. You can see that the gap is not a big one at all. Marchiello up the inside, blue flags waving, meaning quicker car behind. Get out of the way, it's coming to overtake you. Marchiello does the fastest lap of the race, and he brings the gap down to 17 seconds. Raffaele Marchiello then does the fastest lap, and he's absolutely flying, no question about it. Up front, it's going to be a win for the OD Racing Audi R8 LMS. There is the car in question. It is Aditya Patel at the wheel of it as he hustles on. Raffaele Marciello chasing him down, but he's taken over a second out on the last lap. He's taken 6/10 out in the first sector. It's been an excellent effort, this, by Marciello, but take nothing away from Aditya Patel. He has done everything absolutely right in this. And it might seem easy, pole to flag win, but it's been a race full of drama. And of course, Mitch Gilbert's stint was truncated to the extent that he had fewer racing laps than he would have anticipated. But he did a great job as they all squabble behind him, and Aditya Patel has come of age as well in this second stint. Mitch Gilbert looking nervous, but the Malaysian-born Australian will be absolutely delighted with this, no question about it. There's another 7/10 pulled back by Marciello in the next sector, but much good will it do him as Aditya Patel's advantage is just too great. Cars working their way now up through turn 13, and so history is made. Mitch Gilbert takes the first ever Blancpain GT Series Asia pole. Gilbert and Aditya Patel will take the first win in this new championship's history, and Audi is the brand to beat in round 1 of 12 in the Blancpain GT Series Asia. The checker flag is at the ready, and Aditya Patel, flashing the lights, brings the Audi of himself and Mitch Gilbert to a win in round 1 of the Blancpain GT Series Asia. Aditya Patel, Mitch Gilbert the winners. Raffaele Marciello and Hunter Abbott will take second, and the gap of the flag, 9 seconds. What a drive by Raffaele Marciello. If you drive number 999, 9 seconds is a good gap. And would you believe he did the fastest lap of the race on the last lap of the race? He went even quicker to do a 2 minutes 4.859. Third is Jesse Kroon's BMW. Fourth, Jules Shimkoviak's Mercedes. Sean Tong's Audi. Fifth, and Max Weiser will be 6th. What about 7th? Joel Camathias, frustrated I'm sure, comes through ahead of Martin Kodrich in the Lamborghini. There is the invitation class leading Porsche, and to win GT4 up to the line comes 77. Frank Yu is at the wheel. The car started by Jean-Marc Merlin, and Frank Yu brings it home then, so very good efforts. This Frank Yu, who was in GT Asia last year, the 53-year-old, comes home and takes a class win. Second in GT4 being the Byron Tong, Eric Lowe Cayman, and third, all to go the way of 89, Alan Yeo and Ringo Chong. Whew, what a race. Aditya Patel is, along with Mitch Gilbert, the winner. Drive for the race, you'd have to partly say Raffaele Marciello, wouldn't you? Not taking anything away from Gilbert and Patel, but Marciello, just a heroic effort there, up into second place from 22nd on the grid. We don't have a driver of the race award as such, but if we can start one, Raffaele would get it, I think. Other teams with the frustration. BMW oh so close, but Jesse Kroon losing out to the flying Raffaele Marciello, and then falling away by 9 seconds in the end. And of course the Craft Bamboo Racing Porsches with a hard luck story, those cars fading for pace. So the cars work their way into Parc Fermé, and there is Aditya Patel, the wheel of 86, who makes his way down the pit road. The technical team, the championship organisers, are all there ready to receive the cars. And then the podium ceremonies, plural, will be ready because we have GT3 Silver, GT3 Am, GT3 Pro-Am, and then the GT4 podium as well. Great job, says the team, to Aditya Patel and to Mitch Gilbert, whose new working relationship has started in the best possible way. Now that he's got the regulation cap on, will in a moment present himself to the cameras. Aditya Patel, likewise, the 2 race winners, Aditya Patel and Mitch Gilbert with Renai Matu.
Yes, David, congratulations, boys. A bit of history made today.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Mitch got off to a great start. I was a bit worried with the safety car out for so long because I knew Mitch could create a gap, but in the 10 minutes he did a perfect job, and then when I was out, it was more or less stress-free. I just needed to bang in the laps, and yeah, we got to the finish.
Were you worried at any point in time?
I don't know how engineers, mechanics, all those guys look at the screen for so long. It's honestly, it's the most punishing thing ever. Watching Aditya for 25 minutes is one of the worst things ever.
But a great ride from you, Aditya, pushing through from the back.
Yeah, it was pretty good. We got out of the pits where we wanted to be, and everything went as per plan, touch wood. It's good.
Congratulations, well done, boys.
Thanks very much.
22nd on the grid, and Hunter Abbott just explaining there, because the car was slightly underweight, they were put to the back of the GT3 grid. Let's confirm the results over the line. Aditya Patel and Mitch Gilbert, our first Blancpain GT Series Asia race winners, from Raffaele Marciello and Hunter Abbott, Jesse Krohn and Ollie Milroy for the podium as well. Shimkoviak and Sugden 4th from Tong and Lee, Weiser and Jiang 6th. Kamathias and Gunon dropped to 7th ahead of Kodrik and Stuvik, Cheng Sun, and then Young and Au running out the top 10. Will Stevens up to 11th with Jeffrey Lee ahead of Rui Aguas and his Ferrari fending off the Lamborghini of Alberto Di Folco. Davide Rizzo was 14th with Fairuz Fauzi coming home in 15th place. Have a little look further down and you get to number 117, which was the invitation class winning Porsche. 77 is the GT4 winner. That's Jean-Marc Merlin and Frank Yu ahead of number 10 of Eric Lowe and Byron Tong, and third in GT4 was Ringo Chong and Alan Yeo. The winning drivers now are making their way out onto the podium, but already perhaps attention turns to round 2 of the championship tomorrow afternoon here at Sepang, because the cars are on track tomorrow afternoon for another great race. To the top of the podium go Mitch Gilbert and Aditya Patel. Trophies presented to the third place crew of Jesse Krohn and the British driver Ollie Milroy. For second place, British driver Hunter Abbott and Raffaele Marciello, and the top step of the podium for Mitch Gilbert and Aditya Patel. So the trophies, Hunter Abbott, who was pretty late in making his decision to come into Blancpain GT Series Asia, will be delighted with that second spot. Raffaele Marciello likewise, and there it is Alain Delamouras from Blancpain who hands over the trophies to the winners, Aditya Patel and Mitch Gilbert, who win the very first ever Blancpain GT Series Asia race. Stefan Rattel hands over the giant checks to the winning teams at the end of a great championship opener. So the checks presented to the teams that are registered full-time for the championship. We hope to see more of FIST Team AAI. Podium result in race 1 might just promote the decision to come back more, but it's on a race-by-race basis. They will score points as the champagne is sprayed here on the podium.
Hello and welcome to the Blancpain GT Series Asia. I'm Renai Matu. It's an absolute pleasure to be here from Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia, where it's hot, 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 hot. Just as hot as the racing out on track yesterday for race 1. We are all set to have race 2 get started in just a bit. It's been really great if you've been a Malaysian fan. Mitch Gilbert and his teammate Aditya from OD Racing coming through for the win yesterday in race 1. Mitch, you might not look it, but is Malaysian born. And today another Malaysian is set to wanting to shine. Alex Young is on pole position. Now, I'm not alone. David Addison is in our commentary booth up there. David, it's hot down here. How are you doing?
Coping with the air conditioning, Renai, thanks, but we've got a grand view of what is a superb grid. 30 cars here this weekend for the opening races within the Blancpain GT Series Asia. We're down to 27 for today because we've had one car with a gearbox problem and we had 2 that were rather badly damaged yesterday as well, including the McLaren, sadly, of Richard Wee and Rob Bell that was very badly damaged in a starting accident yesterday. Track temperature 51.7 degrees, humidity much bigger than yesterday. It's up to 69 degrees, but we are set for a fantastic race, no doubt about it. 8 different brands represented. We're down to 7 with the demise of the sole McLaren, but even so, it is going to be a very interesting race indeed.
Stefan Rattel, man in the moment here. We had a fantastic race 1. I mean, it was so exciting.
Yeah, it's been a very good start for the Blancpain GT Series Asia. We had a very exciting race with 3 different makes on the podium and a battle in each of the categories. So we hope this one today is going to be as exciting.
Plenty and plenty of drama, and like you said, 3 different makes, 8 makes all up, and like it's a full grid here for the opening season.
Yes, it's been work to build up the series, and our staff have done a fantastic job, and we're very pleased both with the numbers, with the quality, and with the diversity. So we are up for a very good season.
It's been some fantastic racing. Thank you, Stefan. David, over to you.
And the former Formula 1 racer, Alex Young, is poised to do the opening stint. He was a very happy man with pole position. Let's see what his thoughts are pre-race. Let's go down to him and Renai.
Okay, Alex, I know you're really, really busy. Last words before you get out there.
Go and have some fun. It's pretty hot out here, so I'm sure it's going to be hot out on the track as well.
I know you got heaps of fans looking behind you today. It's got to be good to be starting from front.
Yeah, that's the best place to start. We'll see how it goes. The conditions are going to be very hot, so we've got to manage the tyres carefully. If we manage them well, we should be in good shape.
As we look down onto the grid, that's Ho Pin Tung's car, but Mitch Gilbert was a race winner yesterday. The Australian looking for a double, perhaps. Is that doable? Let's find out. He is with Renai.
David, look, have you had time to get over yesterday's win?
Only just. It was the first win from the guys at OD ever, so yeah, we did a tiny bit of celebrating, but now we're back and ready for the race too.
Well, a little bit harder for you today because you've got that 10-second grid penalty from coming across the finishing line.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I don't think it's... that's how it is, that's what we get for winning. I think it's a good system, and if we can do as good a job as yesterday, when we came out the pitch yesterday, we were 21 seconds in front, so if we can do it again, great.
Sounding pretty confident. Good luck today. David, over to you.
Again, a former single-seater racer, Ollie Milroy, the Brit, co-driving with him, and the top 10 on the grid. He's going to be rounded out by the Sean Tong-driven Audi Hong Kong R8. There it is. And Sean Tong, again, raced well yesterday. At the front of the grid stands the race director, Alain Ardon. He waves the green flag to release the cars, and they blast away now in pursuit of the pace car as it is. So this lap is outside of the hour, then there'll be a second formation lap, and now we get ready for the start. There will be an intake of breath, I suspect, in race control for this, hoping that there's no such drama like we had yesterday. But round 2 of the Blancpain GT Series Asia is about to get underway. The cars now slot themselves into formation, including a car that didn't race yesterday, in fact, number 18 out. If you look at it, when the race gets underway, is the very smart silver KCMG Audi of Rick Yoon and started by Martin Rupp. That car had problems yesterday in qualifying. It needed an engine change, and so it will have its first race of the weekend now, and we'll see what progress it can make up from 21st on the grid as we get set. Yesterday we had some great racing, expect more of the same. It's round 2 of the Blancpain GT Series Asia. The lights on the gantry are red when the lights go green. Now we're racing, and a really good start by Rui Aguas to the second row of the grid to make it 3 wide on the run down towards turn 1. The silver Ferrari in the middle of the road. Alex Young on the inside line tries to go defensive and keep Frankie Cheng in the blue Audi behind him. Aguas comes up round the outside. He will go second. He's ahead of Will Stevens in the Audi then as they work their way now into turn 2. They're still side by side as they head into the second corner. There's a bit of smoke coming off the rear of Will Stevens' car. Hopefully it's something sinister, and up on the curb there, and almost, yes, into the side of the Audi goes Ho Pin Tung, who I think is involved in all of that. Let's see. The cars power their way through. Yes, they're going off in avoidance. Ho Pin Tung has got it wrong spectacularly. Yes, in Cronies off the road in the BMW. There was another one going all agricultural as well. So yellows are out at turn 3, but the race leader is Alex Young. Second is Aguas. Third is Cheng as they work their way now through turn 5 for the first time. Yet again, Blancpain GT Series Asia starts with a bang. That will have really thrown the hopes of some up in the air. How did the likes of Much Yellow fare in all of that? Because, of course, as you have to take evasive action, it would have broken up the pack a little bit, but the 3 leaders were away and gone. So it's Alex Young leading the way. It was a good day yesterday for Audi. It's Audi, Ferrari, Audi, Audi, because 4th is still Will Stevens. In 5th place is Davide Rizzo. 6th is Yoshim Koviak in the 888 Mercedes. Then it's Aditya Patel in 7th spot. There goes Much Yellow up on the inside, and he's got past 2 Audis in the space of all of that. One of them was the Takuya Shirasaka car. The other was Martin Rupp. He's got past both the KCMG cars. Much Yellow there on a mission. Mitch Gilbert looking on. He's got the headset on. Peter Lee in the yellow Porsche, the ex-Formula 3 racer, looks for a way through on the inside, can't do it, slots back into the pack as they work their way now down through turn 12. Heading up towards the end of lap 1 then. Other cars that were delayed on the opening lap. Number 2, Ho Pin Tung we knew about. Peter Lee was also one that was forced to run wide, and Martin Kodrich and the Lamborghini, we understand. Out of turn 13 they come. Up now to the end of the lap with a new race leader in the person of Rui Aguas, having got himself up past Alex Young. Max Weiser in the background in the Ferrari looking to gain a place as well. Out of turn 14 they come. But Aguas is away, isn't he? And now he's trying to build this advantage whilst Alex Young hands on for second place. Cheng behind in 3rd. 4th is Will Stevens. It's Ferrari, then Audi, 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 Ferrari. Mercedes 6th because you've got Rizzo ahead of Shimkovia. Audi 7th, Aditya Patel. 8th, Max Weiser. 9th, Alberto Di Folco in the Lamborghini. Top 10 rounded out by Sean Tong. And Marciello 12th from 20th in 1 lap. So 8 places in 1 lap. Can he get himself into the lead before he has to pit? Possibly not the way that Rui Aguas is going, because he is absolutely flying. Look at the gap he's building up now. Aguas who shares this car with Nasrat Muzayin, definitely the quicker of the two, so he will stay out for as long as possible. They got 12th in yesterday's race, but Rui Aguas then slot him in, switch him on, and he will deliver. He is the man leading the way. Now let's have a replay of the start. Look at Aguas from the second row of the grid as the lights go green any second now. He's absolutely away, really poised for that. Blasts his way through the middle. So Will Stevens was the one who got jumped a little bit by Ferraris on one side of him. He was able to defend from more Audis on the other, but Rui Aguas on the outside line slots into second place as Alex Young at turn 1 held on to the lead. Battle on for second place. Alex Young in the black Audi versus Frankie Cheng in the blue car. Now Cheng yesterday 9th in the milestone racing car that he shares with Sun Jinzhu. And the blue Audi going well, working their way downhill. Then in 4th place is Will Stevens for Team WRT. And then in 5th place, Davide Rizzo. That Ferrari could be a dark horse in 5th spot at the moment. Raffaele Marciello still trying to work his way up the order as well. And what's happening down in GT4, it is yesterday's winners. In other words, the Craft Bamboo racing car. Frank Yu leading the way. Jean-Marc Manin, the co-driver. But it is the Craft Bamboo Racing Porsche Cayman GT4 leading the pack at the moment. Now, is Cheng close enough to have a go in the blue Audi against Alex Young? Answer is no, as they work their way up towards turn 14. But Max Weiser has a look at the inside of 86, Aditya Patel, and he can't get by either. Raffaele Marciello has got himself up past Sean Tong. I think he's gained 2 places on this lap. There's 98, which is the Porsche of Fairuz Fawzi. Yeah, so it should be the top 10 in 2 laps here for Marciello, if I'm right. He comes over the timing line, yep, in 10th place. So 20th to 10th in 2 laps. How about that? He's absolutely flying. Hunter Abbott will take over that car, who's racing British GT and British touring cars in recent years. Will Stevens, though, is now coming under attack, isn't he, from Davide Rizzo? So Will Stevens heads through turn 3 in the blue and silver Audi. Dust kicked up in the background by Jules Chimkowiak. Fastest lap of the race, no real surprise in this actually, to Rui Aguas, who leads the way as the cars now turn their way through turn 5. And we've got one car already down the pit lane, 66, Martin Kodrich, and Sandy Stuving's car, which has got Martin Kodrich at the wheel. So that was one that ran wide on the first lap and may well have a problem. Meanwhile, no problems for Rui Aguas on track. He leads by 1.2 seconds at the moment as the field turns its way through. And Chimkowiak running way wide in the background in the Mercedes. Now that was coming out of turn 6. He didn't lose a place, I don't think, but he has lost time in all of that. And what that has done is bring Aditya Patel right onto the tail. So Chimkowiak losing half a second or so, maybe, and he's under attack. Patel to the inside line at turn 9. Can't quite do it, but it was a discernible look at the inside there to try and unseat Jules Chimkowiak. So battle is on between the Mercedes and the Audi. It didn't work for Patel, and it means now that Max Weiser there is a little bit closer to him behind. Weiser moving up from Lamborghini Super Trofeo Asia, in which he raced last year, and in fact, because he's on the back of Patel, that's relieved Chimkowiak for the moment. He's able to start to go after the race leading group once more. We're on lap 4, coming up to the end of the first 10 minutes of racing here then, as the field works its way once more towards turn number 14. Kodrich and the Lamborghini I mentioned in pit, he has rejoined, so it may have been that something had been scooped up and he's off and the car was overheating as Marciello makes another move. That's going to be 9th against Alberto Di Folco as you look at the sister Mercedes in the Grupper M squad turning its way out of turn 14. Tick, Marciello gains another place. Next target as he comes up over the timing line is going to be just up the road Aditya Patel, 7/10 of a second, so there should be another place to be gained here. Down they come into turn number 1. There is Patel in the ODR Racing Audi, swings his way through, and behind Raffaele Marciello is right there. The gap between 1st and 9th is only 6.6 seconds, so although Aguas is leading the way, he's not stormed off into the distance. He's opened up a margin of over a second, but he's not cleared off into the distance as such. There, Triple Eight going through is Chimkowiak. Then he's got this real battle pack with him, hasn't he? Because it's Chimkowiak, Weiser, Patel, Marciello, in other words, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, all running together. Will Stevens is still coming under attack for 4th. The very distinctive Dayglow yellow and red Ferrari there of Davide Rizzo and Anthony Liu right up behind him as they work their way now down towards turns 7 and 8. All of this being watched by the engineers on the pit wall, looking at the screens, looking at the data. Race leader then, Rui Aguas, and last time around Alex Young did the fastest lap of the race, so the Audi may have lost its lead, but Alex Young regrouping and starting now to close again onto the race leader. That is the GT4 class leading car now, because we've had a change. Number 10 up into the lead of GT4, Eric Lowe, at the expense then of the Craft Bamboo Racing entry of Frank Yu. That has dropped back. There it is then, number 10, Eric Lowe, who will give way to Byron Tong at the pit stops. The lead gap is coming down as the race leaders work their way over the timing line. The Aston Martin heading up towards us. That's the car of Kenneth Lim, under attack as David Chipchop Biantaro goes through in the Ferrari on the inside. Or does he? No, not quite. He's going to do it on the pit straight, I suspect. Yes, in fact, coming out of the corner, he's got the inside line, the tighter line and the quicker line. So now Chipchop Biantaro in the blue and red Ferrari powers through, picks up a place. The gap between first and Marchiello last time was 7 seconds. And Raffaele Marchiello does go to the inside. I would suggest that there was racing room afforded to him there. So the back markers hopefully aren't going to be a problem. It will be the Tony Fong, Terence Tsay, Cayman, but gets out of the way. But the leaders are absolutely together. And now Alex Young's going to make a move, is he? Possibly, as they sprint their way up towards the left-hander up at turn 9. Young to the inside line. Yes, he is going to commit this time. He's alongside on the inside. Is it going to pay out for him? It does. Young goes through. Audi leads then in round 2 of Blancpain GT Series Asia. Alex Young has done it. And now Rui Aguas is under immediate attack, because right up behind him is Frankie Cheng. And let's have a look at how that change for the race lead happened. They had the back marker, which perhaps Aguas hesitated just a little for before he committed. That delayed him fractionally. Young right on his tail, and he dived up the inside going into turn 9, had the inside and was coming through. No doubt about it. Alex Young leads. But now roles reverse, because Young gets caught in the traffic this time around there as he tries to get up past Ku Chang. Chang in the green and black Porsche keeps to one side. Leaders go by. And so now, as they work their way up through turn 6, the star of the weekend thus far, and it was the number 5 Audi that Phoenix was ready for. But of those that have made a pit stop, I think you've got this as the lead battle now, with Jeffrey Lee in number 7 having taken over, because off the road has gone 38. So that is a spin on the outlap for, as you see the lead changing now, Anthony up on the inside. So the Ferrari goes ahead of Jeffrey Lee's Audi. It was a spin for Nasrat Muzayin on his outlap. And Alex Al goes ahead now of number 13, Sun Jingzhu, as they work their way down into turn 13. But look, right with them is Marchi Lee. He's the other big danger in this. Look, because he goes easily through on the inside into 4th place. Marchi Lee is absolutely flying. That car was, what, 11th before the pit stops when Sean Tong brought it in. And right now, number 5, Marchi Lee, is flying. Make no mistake about that, as the cars work their way into turn 14. The Hong Kong driver who started racing in Europe, France and Italy in single-seaters, then back into Asia for Formula 3. Further up the road, 2nd and 3rd, because you've got now Jeffrey Lee versus Marchi Lee, and the place for 2nd changes going into turn 9. Through on the inside goes the Phoenix Run Audi, the head of WRT. Stand on the anchors at the last moment. Abbott on the outside line hasn't quite got the job done. Alex Au, good driving, stood his ground on the inside, gets the place back. Abbott tries the outside at turn 2. That doesn't work for him either, so Alex Au fends him off a little bit longer. He's blocked, tries the curb, can't do it. Au moves across on him. Abbott to the outside line. Can he drive all the way around the outside? No, and there's contact. Little bits of the aero flies as the 2 cars rub. A dominant display this, though, by number 10, the EKS Motorsports car, Byron Tong and Eric Lowe, set for a class win in GT4. Abbott to the outside line. Not only is he looking for a way past Au, they both caught Jeffrey Lee. So now Hunter Abbott's got the chance of gaining not 1, but 2 places here. Alex Au fends him off on the inside line, but he runs wide. Abbott's all up the curve as well. And now the Mercedes will go through in a straight line. Job done. Hunter Abbott goes 5th. Next target, Jeffrey Lee up the road ahead. The gap between them then, between the Audi and the Mercedes, 0.6 of a second as they head into turn 1. And the pressure is perhaps going to start to tell on Jeffrey Lee now. He's got to make that car very wide for another 7.5 minutes. That's the leader, lest you forget. Anthony Liu in the Ferrari just owns the road, doesn't he? There is nobody around him. The lap times are good. He's on a 2 minute 6.590, and he works his way now down through turn 1. There, with 50 seconds on the clock, is Anthony Liu. He could, if he backs off, I reckon, make this the last lap and still be able to keep the lead for the win. But let's see whether he can squeeze one more lap out of it. He's caught up in the GT4 traffic here. Down towards turn 12 he comes. And Anthony Liu swoops around the outside, gains the position as they come now through turn 13. I think he can get another lap out of this because we've got 25 seconds to go. But he's got enough in hand to crawl to the line. There is Davide Rizzo, who looks content, if not elated, but maybe that will change once the car crosses the line. 13 seconds. Lift, Anthony, lift, and you can make it the last lap. 7 seconds to spare as he comes into turn 14. And the flag, I think, is going to be out this time. The clock hits 0. It is the last corner of the last lap, and it is a win for Anthony Liu and for Davide Rizzo as he comes across the line. The Ferrari scores victory. The BBT entered car wins round 2 of the Blancpain GT Series Asia, and it is a win for Anthony Liu and Davide Rizzo. But second place, the championship leaders here, Mitch Gilbert and Aditya Patel. So the drivers then make their way down the pit lane. The top 3 cars held because they needed partly for the podium, partly for scrutineering purposes. And Anthony Liu is absolutely over the moon with that. A great start to his Blancpain GT Series Asia campaign. It comes with a race win. He takes a bow from the roof of the car as well and makes the most of the moment as well as he jumps down with help from the team. Anthony Liu and Davide Rizzo then take honours. A great team effort that. Run at a good pace, keep out of trouble, pit early, get out of traffic, and with clear road as others were making pit stops, and some very good laps being put in by Anthony Liu.
Congratulations, guys. Very well done.
Thank you, thank you.
What do you feel like to be coming over that line? Come on.
Euphoric.
Yeah. You were watching from the sidelines rather nervously, weren't you?
It was quite exciting, and I couldn't wait that the race finished. Just I knew it could do a good job.
Well done. Congratulations. David, back to you in the studio.
Absolutely seamlessly, it would appear. And the car taking a victory. So 1 apiece for Audi and Ferrari. Confirmation of the way they came across the line. Anthony Liu and Davide Rizzo, the winners from Mitch Gilbert and Aditya Patel. Marchi Lee and Sean Tong, 3rd from Hunter Abbott and Raffaele Marciello. Then Tim Sugden and Jules Shimkowiak, 5th, ahead of Aidan Reid and Alberto Di Folco. Best Porsche, 7th. And you've got to keep on going to 9th before you find the car that led at the pit stops. Number 6 Audi of the Alexes, Al and Jung, after that bad pit stop. So big frustration for the Phoenix team. And so in a few moments' time, the drivers will be on the podium. Have a look down to GT4. 21st is where the class winners were to be found. And that was number 10 Porsche in the hands of Byron Tong and his co-driver Eric Lowe. 2nd, Jean-Marc Merlin and Frank Hugh, the winners yesterday. And then 3rd, it was Alan Yeo and Ringo Chong. So the drivers that had dramas, you can see, with a number having problems early on in the race. The Ferrari then dominated the second half of the race, and to win by 26.697 seconds. The Ferrari crew very, very happy indeed with that, and the race win for Anthony Liu and Davide Rizzo as they stand proudly on the top step of the podium. So the presentation's ready to be made, and representatives of the Sepang International Circuit will come first. Then for Motul, it is Jack Mack, the Motul Motorsport specialist, who hands over the trophy to Mitch Gilbert and Aditya Patel. And then we have, in this Blancpain-sponsored GT Series Asia, the awards to the winners, and Pirelli steps forward to hand over the trophy, with the drivers, of course, all running on the regulation Pirelli rubber. And Stefan Rattel from SRO is on hand to hand over the big money checks to those that are registered for the full championship. And $10,000 will help the bar bill, at least, for the team tonight. So Davide Rizzo claims the money, and now the drivers Uncork the champagne, never mind a group photograph, they're too busy celebrating in the top three. So David squirts the champagne over Anthony Liu, and Mitch Gilbert gets himself a drink from Aditya Patel. From Sepang for now, bye-bye.